So we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which was great, but a number of people were disappointed with the end of Phase 4 and also the beginning of Phase 5 with Quantumania, just feeling like it was disappointing and not reaching its full potential. But now we have Secret Invasion. Is Marvel back, or is this another dud? Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Secret Invasion Disney Plus review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, before we get started, I just want to let you know a friendly FYI that I will be doing weekly recaps for this show and also will be hosting a live broadcast every day this show comes out, 6:05 p.m. CST. So if you want to come engage, subscribe now. Secret Invasion, my expectations for this TV series was pretty high. I like Samuel Jackson. After seeing the trailers for this, I was like, this kind of reminds me of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I hope we get those same vibes. Now, this is being written by Kyle Bradstreet. If you're familiar with this person, please let me know down in the comment section. And the first two episodes were directed by Ali Salim. I am not familiar with this individual, but if we just scroll down and look at their filmography, we can see that they have directed a number of TV series before: The Calling, 61st Street, Condor, Manhunt. Again, if you are familiar with any of these titles, please let me know down in that comment section below. But my expectations going into this television series on Disney Plus was pretty high. I really do like Samuel Jackson. He is one of the best people cast in this whole MCU. And like I said, those trailers did give me that thriller, spy, espionage vibe, and that is really something I was looking forward to, especially because the comedy in the MCU can be hit or miss. I have so much to talk about, but before I get into all the nitty-gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this Disney Plus series is all about. In Secret Invasion, set in the present day MCU, Fury learns of a clandestine invasion of Earth by a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls. Fury joins forces with allies including Everett Ross, Maria Hill, and the Skrull Talos, who have made a life for himself on Earth. Together, they race against time to thwart an imminent Skrull invasion and save humanity. Now, I will admit, I really did enjoy Phase 3 and also Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, but if you ask me, I kind of thought they jumped the gun with Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet with the Infinity Stones. I think that was told just a bit too early in the MCU. So with Thanos erasing half of the universe, I'm kind of saying to myself, how do you top that? Not necessarily that you have to top it, the threat has to be bigger, but how do you get me to the edge of my seat again? How do you make me feel like there is a real threat out there and people are in danger? I'm happy to say, guys, that within the first 5 to 10 minutes of this television series, you do get that feel. I love this series so far. I love these first 2 episodes. To be honest with you, there is nothing that I can complain about. There's probably one thing that I could nitpick in the first episode, to where one character was taking the situation maybe just a little bit lighter than I wanted them to. I was kind of saying to myself, okay, this is a big deal. You should be taking it more seriously. You kind of seem a bit nonchalant. But other than that, guys, out of every episode 1 and 2, I have absolutely no complaints. The first thing I like about them is the length. The first one is 53 minutes. The second one is 55 minutes. And no, it is not 10 minutes of credit. There is only 3 minutes of credits at both of them. So at the very least, they are 50 minutes long. I also love Nick Fury in this, played by Samuel L. Jackson. I just said he's one of the best casts in the MCU, and it shows in this show. Ever since we met him 30 odd movies and television shows ago, back at the end of 2008 in that post-credit scene for Iron Man, Nick Fury was that guy. He had all the questions, he had all the answers, he knew all the secrets, he knew where all the bunkers were. He was that dude. But when we see him in this right here, he is a bit shaken. The blip is still a big deal in the MCU, and I'm glad that they keep bringing that back, showing how different people in the MCU are still responding to that. If you disappear for 5 years and just come back all of a sudden, or even if you didn't get blipped, that is going to mess up your mind. You are going to be affected by that and have some form of PTSD, and that is exactly where we see Nick Fury. We've never seen him in this state before. A lot of people are questioning him, his loyalty, see his abilities, if he is still able to fight. And this is, again, a different side of Nick Fury that we've never seen before, and I'm loving it. And I also love the fact that Nick Fury is not going out like no punk. He says, hey, I am here to stay. My name is Nick Fury, and you better put some respect on my name. And I absolutely love it. This is possibly, or could lead to be potentially, some of the best Nick Fury that we've seen in the MCU. And I cannot wait to see more because, again, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. The next thing that I loved about this series is the relationship that Nick Fury had with War Machine, with Rhodey, James Rhodes, with Don Cheadle. I thought that was great as well. The conflict between these 2 gentlemen is real, and you don't really know which side you can go on. Nick Fury, of course, is making some valid points, but so is James Rhodes. He's like, hey man, we're in this mess right now, and it is your fault, and you're gonna have to clean it up. And this is not just some small mess. When we get into episode 2, you realize how large the threat really is, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Things escalate very quickly in this show, and I'm just like, wow. Even if we get to episode 6, I don't think it is possible in the slightest to clean up this mess, this Skrull invasion that Earth is in the middle of. And I am very, very excited. We're probably going to have to get a season 2, 3, and beyond. And guess what, guys? After everything I saw, I am here for it. Of course, we also have Everett Ross and Maria Hill coming back. I do like them. They make a great team with Nick Fury, and they are just great supporting characters. And I will also say Kingsley Ben-Adir, who played in One Night in Miami that came out in 2020. He was playing Malcolm X. I did review that film, and he did a great job. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was watching the trailers for this show, I was saying to myself, okay, he looks okay. He doesn't look that threatening. He looks a little friendly, and I'm not just in love with it. I'm not hating it, but I'm not in love with it. I'm not finna sit here and say that he's the best villain in the MCU. That would be a bit much, but he is doing a great job so far. I like his tone, I like his attitude, and I like the way he is moving through these streets as he is navigating across the world, trying to get his Skrull people engaged in this fight. I like him. He does pose a worthy threat, and he's just tired of the mess. He's tired of the BS. He is like, I have been patient, and now it is my time to shine, and I'm going to do that. And if you get in his way, he's going to do something to you, so you better watch out. So I gotta say, Kingsley Ben-Adir, you're doing a great job, sir, in these first 2 episodes. I like it. You're very cold-hearted, you're very quiet and collected, and you're playing chess. You know, I really like that. You're a person to me that doesn't speak much, but just sits back in the back, listening, trying to observe the situation. And I like that. It is making a great antagonist so far in this Disney Plus series. Also, guys, I love the seriousness of this show. There are no jokes. There are no funny moments, and that is great. It makes you feel that Disney, that Marvel is taking it that much seriously. And again, I don't want to say that the jokes in the MCU are bad. They're not. They are hit and miss. Just sometimes I don't like it when you put jokes during battles, during war, during fight scenes, while characters are engaging when their lives are on the line. I don't really want to see jokes during that time, and we don't get jokes in the light times in the show. We don't get any jokes at all. I also have to note, if you ask 90% of the population on the planet what are their favorite Marvel films, everybody won't have the same top 5, but I think that most will have the same top 10, and that will be Captain America, Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Infinity War. I think most people will say those are in not the top 5, but at least the top 10. And what do those have in common? There aren't many jokes during those movies, and I think that Secret Invasion did take a page out those books, and it's paying off quite nice because this is really entertaining, it's threatening, it's serious, and I'm loving it again. I'm also surprised at the level of violence in this series as well. We got some nice hand-to-hand fights between some Skrulls and humans, and it does get quite brutal. It does get quite nasty, and I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting to see this amount of blood in this series. I wasn't expecting to see someone get shot in the chest or the stomach and seeing them bleed out from their body, from their torso, and also their mouth. I like it all. It just really enhances everything. Like, whoa, they're not playing around. People are going to die. And I also love the exposition as well. This series is doing a great job explaining to you what's going on, who's on what side, and also how the Skrulls are linked to Earth. We know back in 2019 with the Captain Marvel film, the Skrulls were introduced to the MCU at the time. So what has been going on the past 25, 30 years? They do a great job, especially at the very beginning beginning of episode 2. To explain all that, first they give you like a little recap, then they give you some behind the scenes stuff, and it fits in perfect like a fitted glove, then tying back into how the first episode ended. I thought that was splendid. I cannot wait to see more. These scrolls have been building something up for quite some time. I mean, you would have to think that, and it just goes into their powers and abilities. They really did take their time of explaining to you how the scrolls work, how they're able to shapeshift, how they're able to extract the knowledge from someone's mind to increase their infiltration techniques. And it is great. They really did think this out and covered all bases. So great job in the writing department there as well. But guys, I really have no complaints about this show. I'm loving the tone. I'm loving how serious it is, and people are really going to get hurt. Kids can watch this, but of course it is not designed for kids. They're like, you know, we want to make something for the adults that kids can probably watch, but this is for the adults. And I will say, guys, this is possibly the strongest Disney Plus show starting out so far with these first 2 episodes. Again, I really did love the start of Loki and those first 2 episodes. Then I was disappointed with episode 3. But so far, guys, this is a very, very strong start to Disney Plus and not season 5, but phase 5 of the MCU. And I cannot wait to see more. I will give my rating for these first 2 episodes at the very end of this video. But for now, guys, that is just my opinion. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate you helping me reach my next milestone of 50,000 subscribers. I am right around the corner. Again, remember, guys, I will be going live at 6:05 p.m. every day that this show comes out. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications so we can have fun in the chat, breaking down these episodes scene by scene. If I had to rate Secret Invasion episodes 1 and 2 on Disney Plus out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Yes, a 9.5 out of 10. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Kadavery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.